Yo, what's up, guys? It's been a hot minute. I've been existing. I've been playing the game, but I haven't been making content or streaming that much. I streamed yesterday though, but it was only for a little bit of time because my wife said, "Hey, stream." I'm like, okay. um. Anyways, what is the point of this video? Also, I'm not editing anything. This is just a running train of thought throughout the video. No edits. I don't care. So what is the point of this? Just to explain my thoughts on the game, the good, the bad, why I don't use the OG boat anymore, what the meta builds are, or the two that you'll probably see most often now. The YouTube situation. I will talk about that. And where's the match vids like I promised, or where's your streams? So let me get into it. What do I even like about the game? The campaign, of course. I know some people didn't like it. I enjoyed it. It's like dumb fun, mindless killing things. Beat the arena. Zimmerman sort of destroyed the PvE a little bit. I wish I never found them. I would rather just found them in PvP instead of PvE. So yeah, that made the game a little bit too easy. Just running dual Zimmermans. What is it? Earshot, stun needle, or something. I ran that through like the whole campaign. So dumb. But no, it was fun. A little easy for me, but fun. I wish there was a hard mode or something, but maybe later on. And the other thing is like goofing off with like my friends in PvP, running like dumb builds, testing things. The classic things about Armored Core. But that's about it. That's all I have to say. It's good about the game. So the bad. I I'm not trying to like roast the game or anything, but I have more to say on the bad than the good. So let's start off with poor balancing. There's legitimately a set of weapons that invalidates like 90% of the game. You already know what they are. The Zimmermans. If you're a lightweight Zimmerman user versus a quad, heavy, or a tank with Zimmermans, you'll lose. Midweights, lightweights, RJs, you just don't have the stability stat to compete. Even heavies barely have the stability stat to compete with a quad. But even then, it's a poor matchup and you shouldn't do it. If you're playing Zimmerman versus Zimmerman. Zimmermans invalidate like most of the game. If you're trying to use double rifle against Zimmermans, you'll probably lose. Not to mention what they have on the back. We'll get to that as well. Just they invalidate half the game. But so does my boat. We'll get to that as well. The classic boat, perma hover tank, double siege missiles, throw over missiles you want on the back. It's very impressive as well if you play it the runaway style like I did. Just have a huge AP pool, law of defense. You can run away forever. Um, it's just a lot of the weapons just aren't good enough to compete with like the meta builds. You either use Zimmermans, then on the back you're on like Coral Shield, drone, plasma missile, maybe a 6-pack on both, like the 6-pack missiles. There's a couple other good missiles you can run, but that's the bulk of it. And then for the boat, just double siege. I know people are saying that there's the other two hand missiles are good, but no, just run siege. I'm sorry. Maybe they serve a purpose, but I can't find it. And then on the back, what I played in this most recent tournament was double drone. I'm treating drones as missiles, by the way. I think they're the best missiles in the game, to some degree, outside of like siege and maybe like 6-packs are very good, but they don't do the damage like the drones can. And the coral missile nerf sucks, but in threes, coral missile is still insane, and I'll get to that as well. Um, just poor balancing, you know. There's no ranked mode, which kills like a lot of my enthusiasm of the game to keep grinding. What am I keep doing? Play these free tournaments, or like, oh wow, I won $25. I'm not to be mean to the TOs or anyone that organize these tournaments, but it's like if there's no money involved, it's hard for me to want to compete. I work, I mean, I work an easy job, but I work, have a wife, have a life, you know, just have no reason to grind if it's just for tournaments. One of the core mechanical issues is that overboost has no drawbacks. you get stability resistance, your guns do more impact. That's the reason, for example, if like a Zimmerman user rushes you down and you're not like a stack stability heavy quad or a tank, you're just gonna eat shit. You know, you're gonna get probably insta staggered then kicked. If the pellets don't stagger you, the kick will, and you just eat it. You know, you lose like 50%. You know, all because they pressed one button, then they fired their weapons, and then they kicked you. that's there's no drawbacks to overboosting. So you should basically be overboosting all the time. Get good with your movement and overboost. Because there's tons of benefits and no drawbacks. That's just how the game's designed. A little shitty, but you know, whatever. They could have made it like VD or 5, where if you overboosted, you lost some stability. Might have been better. They could have made like 4 answer, where if there's primal armor in the game, you lose some of it and you overboost. That's fine. But there's just simply no drawbacks right now, so there's no reason not to keep doing it. Another gripe is the stability stat is the best stat in the game. Like, if you're not optimizing stability, and you're not hitting at least an 18th or 100 threshold, you'll lose to Zimmermans. Even if you hit that 1800, it's still low. Quads can get to 2500 with very little effort. If you're running like defensive tanks that also run Zimmermans, you can get up to like 2800. I think the quad will still win just based on movement and kicks, but the fact that you can get to 2800 on a tank is insane. Not to mention that it's already high defense. There's legitimately no reason not to use anything but heavy quads and tanks right now. You could be thinking, oh my god, lightweight's so fast. Barely. Yes, technically it is faster. But there's a bunch of reasons why you should not use a lightweight. You, A, have way less AP. Or, AP? Is that the, whatever, health than everyone else. And B, you have way less defense than everyone else. You might be asking, what does the defense do? So, how the defense stat works in this game is the 1,000 is the 100% mark. If you have below 1,000, you'll take more damage. If you have above 1,000, you have less, right? It's very easy to get above 1,000. So, every 10 points above 1,000 is equal to 1%. So, a lot of the meta builds will have over, like, 25% damage resistance in all stats, right? Not to mention the high stability. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, quad. And if you're a tank, you could probably hit 1,300 in all stats with, like, a high stability stat. I think there's a build that can get up to 1,400 defense. I'm not sure about the other stats, though. 1,400 defense is like 40% damage reduction. And lightweight simply cannot compete with that, because with that high defense, you probably have high AP. You know, and the high stability. Lightweights have none of that. Midweights don't have any of that. Heavies have the health. And, well, I don't know. It's just not as optimal as a quad or a tank. That's the main thing. But yeah, you don't lose anything for just rocking a quad with an efficient booster. Overboosting forward. Yes, it is slower than lightweight, but it's not worth the trade-offs. That's basically my list of complaints. I could probably think of more, but I've been talking about it for too long. So my next point I wanted to talk about. Hey, Boles, I don't see you run the boat anymore. Like the classic boat. Why is that? So, the reason I don't... Let me bring it out. This is the boat I ran in the first tournament. Let's just go over it real quick while I don't. I have another frame of this, which is better, but I don't even bring that out. So let me talk about why I don't bring this version out. I'll take the color change, whatever. Remember I was talking about stability? If I change a couple parts, I can get over 2,100, I think, or get close to it. I'll lose some AP. It's like, instead of 17,000, it's like 16,000, but it's well-deserved trade to get some more stability. Defenses are high, crazy high, but the stability is low, and that's detrimental in this meta. So, let me show you the other version I run instead now. Or if I do choose to run the boat, which I don't, I run this one. Like I said, a little bit lower. You know, that's fine. But these stats are roughly the same. Actually, it gets more kinetic. So these are roughly some good stats, but look at the stability, 2100. It's just a better build. And I also changed up my core. So keep an eye on this recharge rate, right? If you're playing runaway builds, or just very efficient builds in general, you want to use main dish, because it decreases your recharge. I've timed it myself, and it's about 3 seconds from empty to full if you're on the ground, which is incredible. But yeah, there's another reason why I don't use this version of the boat anymore. It's because of the core missile. Core missile's got nerfed. You might not feel it right away, but let me demo it. So, while I'm setting this up, think about what happens if you get by one core missile before the nerf. What it looked like, right? Keep that thought. Charge this up. You notice something? He didn't die, man. Like, he took 1900. I've done this test several times, and the damage number is always inconsistent. Sometimes it's 1600, sometimes it's like over 2k. But again, it's not like half your AP anymore. You know. There's also the reason it's like that is because they in the patch notes they were saying, "Oh, damage is too high. Fixing a bug." All that really means is it's not doing true damage anymore. Like for anything, for you to get max damage, you have to get through stagger. So let's do 2 just to demo this again. Did about 4k, so double damage. Because you have 2. Again, it's a lot of damage, but it's not like, oh, you died. You know what I mean? So let's just end them real quick. Oh yeah, there's no point in baby charge anymore. The damage is just not there. Unless you get a stagger. Yeah, he's probably behind me. Let's back up. So now let me rotate the missile cooldowns. I'm gonna shoot left and right. It did more damage, but it's supposed to do more. Hints on the inconsistency. It's, like I said, a little jank. It was supposed to do like 6k, but as you see, it did under 5. A lot of damage, but then again, it's a midweight. Low defenses. No stability. You know. Well, let's do this one more time. And I'll show you... Oh. Let me just kill him real quick. Let's do this again. As you see it just destroys because you hit that stability. But I've also ran this test where it did only half. Like I said, it's very inconsistent. It did happen there. I had a recording where I just did what I just, said, and it did like half. I don't know why. Like I said, inconsistent damage. So yeah, these missiles are good still, but they're not optimal for what I want to run in a tournament or like a competitive setting for 1v1s at least. In 3s, they're still sick. Use them. They're good. But for 1v1, they're not the most optimal thing to run anymore. Unless you're against midweights and lightweights and RJs. Like, you can use whatever you want, really. Anyways. What's the better version of this now? Well, there's two things that changed. Let me just show you the iterations of this. First thing I changed was this. I'm no longer running Coral. I'm running the drones. Drones are crazy. They do so much damage. You don't even need stagger. They just hurt. The second thing I did was I just put on a quad. Let me bring this out. So let me just demo the drones real quick. Well. Give me a second. I mistimed that. These are charged drones, by the way. That did half. No stagger, nothing, and they're super quick. Right. I can like turn. Oh, got lock. Oh, got lock. Oh, I can shoot them. You know what I mean? With the core missile, you have to wait 3 seconds for you to fire. So that's, you know, for my playstyle, it's not optimal. You know what I mean? But then you're asking, hey, you're not hovering anymore, so you just not float? No, far from it, actually. Let me get up there. Also, you can see it's really way more efficient. Oh, I get chin back. And you see, I'm not even, like... You know what, let me demo this a better way. Just so I can, like, show. Oh, see, I'm not even on the ground, and I could just do this forever, you know? And I could still drop like a rock if I choose to, or do whatever I want. Just to show you what I mean. Let me get to the height real quick. And just not press anything. Like, I can still do that. It's fine. This is just a better version of that build. Yes, I lose a AP, but let me show you. I lose about 1700 AP, but I gain about 400 more stability. It's worth it, man. Trust. It's just worth it. Something just came to mind while testing this. Maybe I should try like the bulky tank legs and try this again. I'm not trying to run this type of playstyle to see what happens, but probably won't be worth it. But as you know, just stat-wise, this is better. I'm sorry. It just is. Yes, I lose a lot of energy defense, which might help me in the drone matchup, because what I lost to the tournament was basically a build like this. Like Tournament 2. You already know, Devil Zimmerman. Which I normally don't have issues with Zimmermans. It's just what's on that back that gives me trouble. So he had a drone, but he had a Coral Shield. Coral Shield is what sort of breaks this? Because it's a shield that's not impacted by whatever you shoot it with. Maybe Coral, but what meta Coral weapons are there besides like redshifts? And I guess Coral Missile to some degree. There isn't anything. Let me change the head to what he was running. I think he was actually running this exact frame. Law of defense. I mean, pretty good defense spread across the board. Law of stability, high AP. And he can run me down, you know? Because it's the same frame, so we have the same generator and boost setup and, you know, just cat and mouse. He just played it better, you know? He played the matchup better than me and won. My boy Blend. But this is probably the best build in the game. Coral Shield is just so degenerate. So if you don't know, Coral Shield basically makes me have to shoot like a bunch of missiles and drones to even get close to stagger. It's like multiple volleys, if they even hit. You know, so I'm never staggering him. Unless I'm able to catch him with a kick and a bomb. That's the reason I have Soul Armor. So when people get close to me, it's probably more impactful than the whole summer. I could be wrong. But you have to play this like as a defensive tool. Or if you see the stagger, go for it. Do a kick, try to get the bomb, then run away. But it's still a very hard matchup when he's like that good of a player. But no, this is the build that won the tournament. If you haven't tried it, run it. You can bully people with it. Um, but yeah. So what was I also on about? Oh yeah, the YouTube thing. I forgot to talk about that. All right, let me get my screen working here. Properties. All right. So this video right here, this this interesting video. Well, to put in some context, this is when Ouroboros and Cowboy were doing, the rematch. I was in there talking with them, hanging out. And then when everyone got off, I got off. And he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, Boles, we should run us some sets." I'm like, "Yeah, cool, awesome." I knew he was gonna like record everything, and that's fine. But I didn't realize how he would portray the video. I mean, he's a content creator. I don't have any hard feelings or anything. It's just content. Um, but let me show you the actual score. It's not 2-3. I'm sorry. Still, if you're watching this, sorry. This is the actual score. All these. All these. This is the actual score. 11-3. But to give him credit, I was telling him how to play the matchup, what to do, what's some good maps. Got him to try some things he probably wasn't comfortable with, like Coral Shield and Smoke Bomb, like the ECM. I was telling him like how to play the matchup, but he couldn't do it like that. So let's take off like 3 or 4 games right from that 11 win. So about 7-8 wins. Okay, let's give him. Let's just say 7. So it was 7-3, not 2-3. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. I respect the guy. Content creator, whatever. I get it, but don't get it twisted. What else do I want to talk about here? Where's the vids? Like I talked about like where's the whole match set I've been playing for the last tournament and now this tournament? Like where's the videos? And to be honest, I just haven't had any motivation. This game not depresses me, but like it's just like I have everything and I have to go through this video right here, my stream, and get the tournament thing out of this as well. But I think the matches start here. Yeah. So here, all of these here are all the tournament vids. And I have them. I just can't get myself motivated to upload them. Maybe I'll just add them all to one video without any edits, or at least cut like all the waiting and just send it. I might have to edit myself though. It's fine. Yeah, they're here. I don't know. I just don't have the motivation to upload them. If y'all want them, I'll do it. It's fine. But if no one cares, I'm not gonna do it. But that's about it. Like, I just am not having a good experience with the game right now. I had a good experience with the PvE story. Sick, loved it. Goofing off the friends, perfect. But everything else about the game is just disheartening. Like, I don't have any motivation to play it. If I'm being honest. Like, I don't feel creative playing this game like I was in 4-Answer, VD5, So I just recognize, like, oh, this is a cool build, but just loses to Zimmerman's. If you could argue, the Bumblebee! But no, the Bumblebee's not good. Like, if you're playing against a good player, the Bumblebee loses. It'll lose to Zimmerman's, and it'll lose to Boat. It'll lose to Lightweight Boat. It doesn't matter. Like, that's just how it is. Zimmerman's invalidates, like, most of the game. There's a couple playstyles you can play around it. I've heard through the grapevine that laser tanks actually might be good against, like, the Zimmerman quads. I haven't tested it out yet, and I haven't seen any like gameplay of it. But that's the thing I've heard. Um, but yeah, I'm just not happy with the game. I might stream tonight or again soonish if anyone's interested. But that's just how I feel. My thoughts about the game right now. So if you have any questions, just post them down in the comments. If you want to bitch at me, go for it. I might bitch back. I don't know. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the game. I'm not going to edit this. As soon as I get done recording, I'm just going to upload this. So see you soon.